In Bamenda, there is a woman I know. Her name is Mama Grace. If you met her on market day, you would not call her ordinary. You would call her strong. You would call her steady. You would call her the kind of woman who keeps a family moving even when her feet are tired. Every Thursday, Mama Grace wakes up at 4 in the morning. Before the sun even opens its eyes, she is already washing her face, tying her wrapper, and thinking about the road ahead. She owns a small shoe shop in Bamenda. Shoes, sandals, sneakers, children's shoes, handbags too. That is how she feeds her house. That is how she sends her children forward. So every week, she travels to Douala to buy more stock. But for many years, that journey began with stress. She would reach the bus agency before sunrise and still find people already there. Long lines everywhere. Tired faces, low voices. People arguing softly, then loudly. People asking if there were still seats. People fearing the tickets would finish before their turn came. At Vatican Express, the lines stretched. At Moghamo Express, the lines stretched. At Amour Mezam Express, the lines stretched. At Oasis Travels, the lines stretched. At Musango bus service too, the same story. Because so many people were traveling and everybody was carrying the same fear in their chest. If I delay, I will lose my place. One Thursday, Mama Grace stood there for hours. The sun came up, the road became noisy, the air filled with impatience, and still she waited. Then the worst thing happened. She missed her bus. Just like that, a whole day gone, a whole day of business lost, a whole day of hope sitting quietly beside her on the ground. When she finally turned back home, she was discouraged, not angry, not shouting, just tired in that deep way that only hardworking people understand. That evening, her son James came to see her. He looked at her face and asked, "Mama, why are you still standing in long lines just to buy a bus ticket?" Then he sat beside her and showed her something on his phone. He said, "Mama, look. This is Motorboy app." At first, she did not believe him. She looked at the screen the way elders look at something new and suspicious. But James was patient. He showed her how to compare bus companies, how to choose a route, how to reserve a seat, how to book a ticket directly from her phone in just a few minutes. Mama Grace kept looking, then looking again. Then she said, "So people can really do this from home?" And James said, "Yes, Mama." The following week she tried it, not at the bus agency, not in the rain, not in a line that bent around the corner. She sat at home with her phone in her hand and booked her ticket. No more standing in long lines at bus agencies. No more wasting money on extra trips just to buy a ticket. No more unnecessary stress. When the day came, she reached the departure point at the right time. She boarded her bus with confidence. She traveled comfortably to Douala. She bought more shoes, more sandals, more children's shoes, more handbags. And when she returned to Bamenda, she came back earlier than before. That change touched everything. She served more customers. She earned more money. She spent more time with her family. She breathed easier. She laughed more. She carried her business with less burden and more peace. And that is why I remember Mama Grace. Sometimes success doesn't come from working harder. Sometimes it comes from working smarter. Motorboy app didn't just change Mama Grace's journey. It gave her back her time. And time is life's greatest gift.